My beloved child, in just 10 more minutes, you will truly understand what it means to be wrapped in my presence. Gentle yet powerful, warm yet mighty, and so quiet yet undeniably real. You will feel a pure healing current flowing through your body and soul, easing the places long gripped by heavy anxiety, softening the places withered by deep wounds, and lighting up the corners you thought had gone dark. Don't fear this gentle shift, because it isn't the shaking of unrest, it is the breath of love, finding its way into your very core. My breath will touch every hidden space, those spots where you buried old disappointments, tears you could never name, questions you were too afraid to ask, and prayers you never dared to whisper aloud. My love does not come to judge or condemn you, it comes to lift you back up. Just as the scripture in Isaiah 41:10 declares, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." When you feel the air around you shift, take it as proof that you have never walked alone, not even once. I have always been right here, quiet but steady, waiting patiently for you to turn back to me. Right now I am drawing close to you so your spirit can feel me clearly. My child, never let the words of this world make you doubt your true worth. Others might say you are small, weak, or unlovable, but they cannot see the seeds I planted inside you from the very beginning. You were made in my image, an image untouched by failure, clean of past mistakes, and free from fear. Inside you is a light that can never go out because humans didn't light it. It came from me. It is a gift I gave you long before you ever felt afraid, long before you learned to hide your tears, long before the world tried to define you by its strict rules. Still your heart and hear my whisper. You are not alone. Never have been, never will be. Micah chapter 7 verse 8 says, "Though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." You see, the light inside you isn't something you have to force or light yourself. It is the light I place there, and I am the one who keeps it burning. Even when you feel too tired, too lost, or too deeply broken, that light has never gone out. Do not judge the hard path that brought you to this very moment. My child, the confusing turns the dark valleys where you felt completely lost to yourself. The heavy crossroads, they all have a purpose. Every single step, steady or shaking, has brought you closer to the strength I am building in you. I do not keep track of your mistakes to judge you. I look at the courage it takes to stand back up, and every time you do, I lift you higher. Your life is not a list of failures, but a beautiful canvas of courage and faith. Strength you often do not even realize is already inside you. You think the hard seasons you went through were filled only with pain. But really, I have used those hard moments to expand your heart so you could love deeply, care truly, and look at others with kindness instead of judgment. The tears you thought were wasted were actually seeds I planted, and now they are growing in the soil you thought was completely dead. I am teaching you to find beauty in broken things so you can lift up others using the lessons from your own pain. My child, every victory you have won, even those too small to mention, is another step along the path I planned for you. And every mistake you feared to face is just a small lesson that helps you see what really matters. I do not ask you to be perfect. I only ask that you soften your heart so I can mold it, letting your soul shine in the new season I have prepared for you. My beloved child, you must believe this deep down, not just as a nice thought. I am not upset with you for the times you walked the wrong way. The errors you think are unforgivable do not make me turn away, nor do they lessen my deep love for you at all. In fact, I am right there with you in the aftermath. I will never leave you alone in the ruins. I am the one who bends down to gather every broken piece so we can build something beautiful together. I am the one clearing away the stones that made you stumble. I am planting fresh seeds of hope in your heart, even in the dry places you thought were completely dead. And when you look back at where you fell short, when your heart aches with regret for what you wish you had done differently, know that I remember too, but I choose to remember the good in you. Do you honestly believe I only look at your unfinished pieces? No, I see every quiet struggle you never mentioned. The times you chose what was right even when no one was watching. Those tiny wishes to improve a little every day. There are even times you do not realize how hard you are trying. But I saw those moments. I keep them close and value them deeply. You dismiss your own brave steps as nothing special. Yet to me, they glow like a light in the dark. Every single time you stood back up after a setback. Each time you chose to forgive while your heart shook with hurt. Every second you held back your anger to spare someone else. These are the signs of spiritual growth that heaven writes down. You often look at yourself as too minor, too unimportant. But I see a quiet, rare, and steady strength inside you. The sort of power only those who fell and stood up again can get. So take my grace. My dear child, do not try to trade for it. Do not try to strike a deal. Do not think it must be earned. My mercy is not a debt you pay back by being perfect. It is a deep stream that never stops flowing, never shutting its gates to any tired heart looking for peace. Pardon is not money to trade with. It is pure grace. It is breath itself. It is the road bringing you back home. Walk right into that water. Picture your feet stepping into the cool current. That first chill might make you shiver. Still, that sudden shiver wakes up a spirit you thought was dead. Then in an instant, you will feel a soft warmth starting to spread, like a comforting hand on your chest whispering you have held this weight long enough. Come and rest here beside me. This is real peace, the kind this world cannot offer and can never steal. Watch your shame fade away like morning fog in the sunshine. You do not have to wear it like some ragged old coat. Stop punishing yourself because I never wanted you to carry that pain. You were not created to walk through life crushed by guilt. You were made to walk in freedom and light. This is the life I give. As 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7 says, anyone in Christ is a new creation. The past is gone. Look, everything is fresh and new. Can you see it? This fresh start is not a prize for being perfect. It is a free gift for anyone brave enough to come back. My child, let this heavy burden slip away and wear my freedom instead. I am placing it on your shoulders myself. You have nothing to prove to me, and you do not need to run from your past. You do not have to keep dwelling on every single mistake just to lock yourself up in the dark. You are free to start over, not because you fear being judged, but because you are completely loved and welcomed. I know some days you tell yourself you are not good enough, but my love has never depended on your performance. It is built on the fact that you belong to me, and you will always have a home here. It does not matter how far you went or how often you tripped. So let today become the moment of your new beginning. You do not have to wait around until you feel strong enough. You do not need to wait until your whole life is perfectly sorted out. Just take one simple step out of the dark. Prison shame has built and walk into the warm light of truth that says you are loved, forgiven, and made whole. My dear child, you have been carrying heavy weights for way too long, loads you were never meant to hold. Let those weights drop as you step into this stream of divine grace. Let my spirit whisper to you that starting today, you are not defined by your past chains, but by the beautiful future I am leading you toward. Always remember, I walk ahead of you, fixing every crooked road and removing the stones from your paths, so you can move forward with a joyful heart, a free spirit, and a deep hope that only grows brighter. My precious child, you do not have to wear yourself out trying to prove your worth to me. Your value is not calculated by your success, nor by the praise or approval other people might offer. Your value was set the second I breathed life into your soul. Ever since that day, you have held a sacred dignity that nothing on earth can match. Others might judge you by basic standards like your achievements and status, or that constant hustle that ticks away like a clock that never rests. But I, the Creator who designed you, do not grade you on those things. I gaze straight into your heart, deep into your soul. I see a heart that seeks out goodness and hands ready to help others, even when you are completely exhausted, and a spirit filled with holy wonder that spots beauty in the most ordinary moments of your day. You were crafted by love with beautiful purpose, and that alone gives you a value no earthly force can ever take away. So my child, learn to embrace the gifts I gave you. When you feel strong and full of life, work with joy and dedication. But when your body feels worn out, rest. Do not see resting as giving up, but as a necessary step that brings you closer to me. Some days you will offer me your sweat perseverance and unseen efforts, and on other days your gift to me will simply be silence or a peaceful sigh let go in quietness. Even this is a form of worship. I accept both as long as they come from a sincere heart. Like Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." That stillness is not running from your responsibilities. It is choosing to rest in my arms where I renew you. My child, do not think that trusting me means you will never hurt. Faith is not a shield against loss, but a promise that pain cannot define your worth, nor does it have the power to rewrite your story. You might carry wounds so deep that you feel your chest can barely take another breath, or you might watch something precious slip away like a leaf in the wind. But this pain is not a sign of failure. It shows you have lived, fully kept your heart open, and loved with the pure sincerity I placed inside you. When grief touches your life, do not rush to push it away like an enemy. Let it come in as a visitor. Even if you never invited it, let it sit with you a while. Quiet your heart and hear what it whispers. It whispers that your pain shows the depth of your love. Your brokenness shows just how deeply you cared. And your tender heart is not a weakness. It is a unique beauty I crafted in you. Grief is a harsh teacher, but always honest. It teaches you to recognize what truly matters, what lasts, what you must hold close, and what you must let go. Do not run from it. Just sit with it for a moment. If your chest tightens and tears begin to rise, let them fall. They do not lower your worth nor make you weak. If the feelings inside you build until you can no longer hold them back, let them out. This does not mean you are losing control. It is simply a sign that your soul is searching for healing. In time, the sharp edges will soften. Loss will no longer cut like a blade but become a memory. Kept in gratitude, that memory becomes a sacred altar in your heart. A sacred place where you remember those you loved, the lessons you learned, and the seasons where I held your hand and lifted you up. My beloved child, remember that even as you hold your pain close, I am right here. Never distant, not even for a second. I feel every trembling breath, every time you try to stand on aching knees, and every moment you wonder if you made a mistake. I want to whisper this to you now. You are not wrong just because you are in pain. You are not worthless because you feel broken. You are not weak for needing time to heal. I do not expect you to be strong every single day. I only ask that you stay honest with yourself and place your shaking hand into mine. Remember this, my child. The memories from your struggles will one day become the pieces that help you clearly see the divine purpose I have for your life. You will look back and realize the times you thought were ruined were actually open doors leading you to a deeper, more beautiful, and restored life. Your tears are what softened the dry ground of your heart, allowing the seed of hope to take root. The days you collapsed in exhaustion are the very foundation for you to rise up stronger tomorrow. I never let you hurt without a purpose. Every time something leaves your life, I am clearing space so that something better can enter. Something life-giving can draw close. And my child, when you finally walk through this season of grief, when your breathing steadies and your chest no longer tightens, you will see that I was walking right beside you through it all. You will feel grateful for the patience you showed yourself. You will thank yourself for not hiding your grief, but letting it teach you. You will be glad you kept your heart open instead of closing it. And that very thankfulness will be the place where you discover a deep, quiet peace. A peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances, but on knowing I am working out every detail, even those you cannot yet see. My beloved child, I invite you to reach out to the world with hands full of compassion. Do not pull back in fear or protect yourself as if the world exists only to hurt you. I made your hands not just to support yourself, but to lift others up, to give, and to bring warmth to the broken places of a weary soul. Whenever you stand before someone who is stumbling, do not let your words become arrows that add to their pain. Instead, let your actions be a bridge that brings them back to life. Offer a gentle touch, a soft word, a look without judgment. Sometimes these tiny, quiet gestures can completely change a dark day weighed down by hardship. My child, when someone hurts you, your mind will want to fight back. Instead, take a deep breath and let my kindness step forward first. Being kind is never a sign of weakness, even if people get it wrong. It is choosing not to spread bitterness in this world. It is the mark of a mature heart, a soul that steps into my healing light. Gentle spirits do not lack inner strength. True gentleness is power under control. It shatters the cycle of anger and opens up the path toward deep reconciliation. Force and control can never achieve this. Remember this, my beloved child. Whenever you choose mercy over getting even, you are choosing to stand with me. Sometimes you might fear that staying quiet or giving in makes you look weak to others. But hear me, being meek is not being helpless. It means having the strength to control your reactions. You are wise enough to know that real love never needs to scream. As Proverbs 15 verse 1 says, "A gentle answer turns away anger, but harsh words stir up trouble." Look, Scripture itself reminds you that a soft response can disarm the heaviest attacks. Sharp words only deepen pain, but kindness carries a quiet power that lasts forever. Think of a stream washing over rocks. At first, nothing seems to change, but slowly it carves out a whole new path. You might not see the fruit of your kindness right away, but it is never wasted. It touches a heart, rests in their memory, and comes back when they desperately need hope to keep going. When you offer grace, you are planting seeds that will bloom beautifully in ways you could never imagine. My child, this world is not kept alive by massive events or stories that make the news. It is healed and softened by the smallest moments, things that seem minor yet shake the human soul. A word that brings peace, not pain. Sharing a meal when your own cup is barely full. Holding someone close when life gets too heavy. Keeping a promise even when nobody is holding you to it. Love lives in these little choices. My grace does not just show up in big miracles, but in quiet moments no one ever sees. Yet I notice every single one. Do not look down on the minor tasks I give you daily. You cannot know how a kind word might rescue a person who is completely exhausted. You have no idea how a simple morning smile can anchor a soul about to break. Your quiet, peaceful presence might be the safe harbor someone needs to open their heart. These acts do not make a loud noise, yet they leave a mark deeper than any trophy or worldly success. My beloved child, remember that small supports are what hold the entire building steady when storms hit. People are easily distracted by high peaks and flashy achievements. But I, the Creator who knows all things, look straight at your foundation. A towering skyscraper may look impressive, but if its foundation is weak, a gentle breeze can make it collapse. It is the same with a life that looks stunning but lacks true faithfulness. Such a life breaks easily during hard times. But when you take care of the small things, you strengthen your soul. You are building a spiritual foundation solid enough for me to trust you with greater blessings. Those who ignore the little duties will never be ready to handle major blessings. But if you are faithful with a little, I will give you much more when the time is right. I know you will lead with humility and wisdom. Let compassion be your daily habit, not just a random act you perform once in a while. Learn to spot the hidden needs around you, like an elderly neighbor who simply needs a kind conversation, a teenager struggling for hope, a passing stranger comforted by a quick smile, or a hurting friend who just needs you to listen without judgment. I know your soul is full of love. Open it up and you will see that I am working through your quietest actions. My child, let stillness become the quiet guide for your soul. In a busy world that never slows down, where endless noise crashes over you like a wild waterfall, you are invited into a sacred space of divine peace. Do not fear the quiet. Quietness is not empty space. It is where I draw near and where my soft whisper becomes clearer than ever. When you give your mind a break from constant talking, you will see that silence never robs you of anything. It restores your focus, which the world has slowly stolen away. It protects your deep feelings and your sensitivity to the quiet Holy Spirit. Resting in that quiet place, child, you will hear what life's noise usually blocks out. You will feel your heart beat again. Feel the deep exhaustion that begs for healing and recognize that old ache inside you that still has no name. Even more, you'll hear my voice not in a roaring wind and not in the crash of thunder, but in the gentle breath of the morning mist. So many chase dramatic signs or loud declarations from heaven, but I treasure those who listen for the quiet details, because the ears that know how to be still are the ones that know how to love. Remember the words from 1 Kings 19:12. When Elijah sought me after the earthquake, came a gentle whisper. I rarely show up in the noise. I come in tenderness, and only souls resting in peace can hear me. Make quiet listening your daily habit. Do not just listen with your ears. Use your heart and your whole presence. Most people just wait for their turn to talk, but few genuinely want to understand. I want you to be the person who notices the tears hiding behind a smile, the quiet of a wounded soul, the silent cry for help that goes unspoken. Your loving attention can become a safe harbor for others. Just one quiet moment where you let someone pour out their heart could be the most precious gift they get all day. Never overlook the power of your presence. Sometimes just sitting beside someone without judging them, without rushing to fix things or offer advice, just being a tiny light in a dark room is the most beautiful prayer they will experience. My child, practice being fully alive in this very moment. When your mind races into the future, it brings heavy worries. When it drifts back into the past, it carries regret. But I live in the present. The future is not a hiding spot from today. It is a country you will enter slowly, one step at a time. You cannot care for what is not sprouted yet. You cannot water seeds you have not planted. And you cannot fix what has not even happened. You can only tend to the soil right under your feet. If your heart is weighed down by worry over tomorrow, gently bring yourself back to this moment. Look at your feet. They are planted in today, not tomorrow. Feel your breath. It is happening right now, not in the future. Focus on what you can grow right now. A kind word, a quiet prayer, a moment of rest, or one small step taken with purpose. This is how you build your tomorrow, not with fear, but by staying faithful to today. I am not saying you should avoid planning. I just do not want you paralyzed by fears of what has not happened yet. Wise preparation lets you walk with confidence, but endless worrying chains your feet with invisible bonds. When you plan, you act out of freedom. When you worry, you act out of fear. Choose freedom, my child, because it is already yours. I am walking with you into every tomorrow. You do not walk into tomorrow alone. Even when you cannot see ahead, I am never confused by the road before you. Every mile you travel is held safe in my hands, even when your eyes are blurred by tears, confusion, or pure exhaustion. I still give you just enough light for the next step. Not the whole path, just one single step. Because if you could see the whole map at once, you would not need to trust me. I keep the rest in my hands so you can learn to lean on me instead of relying only on your own strength. When you feel like you are walking in the dark, do not assume I have left you. Light still lives inside you, faint, dim, but always there. Even the tiniest spark is enough to prove that you are still headed in the right direction. And when you see absolutely nothing ahead, remember, I have not let go of your hand. The weaker you feel, the tighter I hold you. The more you shake, the closer I pull you to my heart. My child, you do not always have to achieve grand things in this life. Sometimes it just asks you to show up fully present for yourself and those you love. There are times when your quiet presence, calm and unhurried, free from pressure, becomes the exact healing miracle someone has been praying for. There are moments when just stopping to breathe in a busy day lets your soul find the peace you thought you lost. And there are moments when resting in my shadow for just a few minutes can completely turn your heart around. Slow down, listen deeper, breathe fully, live with eyes open, a heart that is paying attention, and a soul that does not fear the shadows. You do not have to see the whole road ahead. You only need to trust me enough to take that next step. And I will walk right beside you, not behind you and not from a distance, but right there with you, like a loving father who knows every beat of your heart. My child, remember this vital truth. Forgive yourself with the same grace you so freely offer to others. You easily offer grace and compassion to soothe other people's wounds, yet you are so harsh on your own. You find endless excuses to pardon someone else's mistakes, but you deny yourself even a tiny drop of mercy. But my child, your soul was never built to carry the heavy weight of self-accusation. You cannot grow while crushed under the weight of regret. Treat yourself with the kindness I put inside you. Some days you will look back and whisper, if only I had chosen differently. If only I was wise enough to avoid this. If only I was strong enough to say no. But these quiet regrets do not mean you failed. They actually show growth. A soul brave enough to face its own mistakes is strong, not weak. Remember, life is not built on perfect choices, but on rising every time you fall. Real maturity is not about never making a mistake. It is knowing what needs to change and having the humble heart to keep moving forward. When your choices weigh down your heart, do not run. Hiding only lets the shadows grow deeper within you. Face the past like a student learning a lesson. Go ahead and ask, where did I go wrong? What was missing? What could I have done? But once you find the answers, take one more step. Acceptance. Own your mistakes, not to beat yourself up, but to grow. If something is broken, fix it with a sincere heart. If an apology is needed, let it free both of you. But when what is done cannot be undone, let it stay behind you like a stone that has already smoothed your steps. Never think I expect you to be perfect. I never have. I simply desire a tender heart, one that knows how to return and how to change course when needed. Growing often means stumbling, but every single wound, if you let me touch it, becomes a place where my light enters. As Psalm 34:18 says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. See, my child. My own words prove that when you are shattered, I draw closest to you. I do not pull away when you fall. I come closer to help you rise. My child, shame is not the way I guide you. It is a heavy cloak you wear when you forget that I knew everything before it happened. I always knew there would be days you would stumble, times when your choices are wrong, and moments when impulse overrides your wisdom. I did not design you to drown in shame. If it brings you back to me and teaches you a lesson, then it did its job. But if that shame lingers too long, if it suffocates your hope and steals your breath, it is useless. Take it off, my child. Toss it aside like old clothes. Remember, shame is not the same as repentance. Repentance always leads you to healing. Shame drags you down in self-condemnation while repentance moves you forward. Shame pushes you backward under a heavy weight. Repentance draws you closer to me, but shame makes you run away. I want you to choose what brings you back to my arms, not what drives you away from my light. Never forget, my child, you were made by love, not perfection. Feeling weak does not mean you are unworthy. It only proves you are human, and I am the God who restores you. I know you cannot walk without stumbling. What matters is not the fall, but how you get back up. I want your faithfulness, not perfection. Even when you are cleaning up the mess of your own bad choices. If anything needs mending, let us fix it together. You are not alone. Do not hang your head in shame thinking I am disappointed in you. I am never disappointed. I am simply waiting. I am waiting for you to leave behind that dark self-accusation. Come to me so I can lift you up with the gentlest love. The things you call failures are often the soil where I grow real humility, strength, and compassion inside you. See yourself through my eyes, eyes that look past your flaws to see your true potential. I see the goodness you do not dare to believe in. I see you growing stronger every time you take responsibility. I see maturity taking root every time you choose to face the truth. I see your heart growing deeper and gentler every time you forgive yourself. Forgiveness is not about making excuses. It is admitting that you are still learning. You are clay in the potter's hands, still being shaped and not yet finished. You cannot love other people completely if you do not know how to love yourself on the days you fall. And you cannot truly forgive others if you refuse to let grace heal your own heart. My beloved child, I want you to learn to face your doubts with real courage and honesty. Do not fear the deep questions that trouble you. Do not call yourself weak just because certainty slips through your fingers. Doubt is not a stone thrown to destroy your belief. It is the doorway through which true faith matures. It is like a student standing before a gentle teacher holding unspoken questions, deeply longing to finally understand. When you bring your honest uncertainties and questions to me, I never push you away. Instead, I draw you closer so you can hear my voice. Let me say this slowly so your soul understands your doubts do not disappoint me. I am never surprised by your questions because I know every thought in your heart before you speak. Sometimes these questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of a mind that is growing. It is a heart that refuses to believe blindly, but longs to trust because it has wrestled, searched, and questioned, and finally met me along the way. Strong, mature faith is never built by fearing your questions. It is built when you have the courage to face what you do not understand. Some days your heart will feel torn. Half of you wants to believe while half wants to quit. One moment I feel close, the next miles away. Yet my child, this inner tension is exactly where your soul is growing. You are not alone in this struggle. Even those I used most powerfully in Scripture wrestled with doubt. John the Baptist, who prepared my way, once asked if he should look for someone else. And I did not answer him with a rebuke, but with gentle proof that truth was unfolding, even though his heart was tired. I will treat you with that same loving gentleness. When doubt comes, my child, do not lock your heart. Ask your questions with sincerity. Just as a child asks a father to understand, not to challenge, I never punish a heart searching for truth. Instead, I welcome those who refuse to hide their confusion and bring their uncertainties straight into my light. Tell me about what troubles your soul. Let your questions fall into my hands like rough clay on a potter's table. I will take those broken pieces to rebuild your faith in ways you cannot yet imagine. My child, do not think you are weak because you have questions. Sometimes faith is not a loud shout, but a soft whisper. Lord, help my unbelief. Faith is not always a roaring fire. Sometimes it is only a single ember shivering in a cold wind. But I am the one guarding that tiny ember. I will not let it die. I do not ask you to be strong all the time, only to be honest when your heart trembles. Many people think that hard questions weaken faith, but in truth, it is fear that actually weakens it. When you dare to face your inner confusion and speak aloud what you cannot yet explain, when you choose to step into the shadows instead of running away, that is when your faith begins to grow strong. Just as muscles grow stronger under resistance, your soul grows when it carries unresolved questions while still choosing to move forward. Bring your confusion to me. Put it down like a weary traveler dropping a heavy pack after a long journey. Do not hide it. Do not pretend you know everything. I do not ask for fake faith. I only ask for honesty. And in your honesty, I will touch those hidden places in your heart, making them softer and filled with my light. Doubt, when placed in my hands, is never a destroyer. It becomes a tool I use to reshape your heart. It plows the hardened soil inside you so new seeds of faith can take root. It opens up quiet spaces where I can pour fresh wisdom. It wakes your soul from just going through the motions, leading you to a faith born of real seeking and true connection. My beloved child, there are moments when the answers you long for will not come right away. Sometimes I let you walk the path in the dark, not to hurt you, but to teach you to sense me with a spiritual depth far beyond sight and sound. If I answered every question the second you asked, you would never learn how to persevere. If I made everything plain from the start, you would never understand what it means to trust. And if you could always see everything clearly, you would have no need for me at all. I am not hiding from your questions. I simply choose the moment that best nurtures the growth of your soul. If you keep seeking, you will discover that I have never been silent in the way you fear. I have only been working according to the rhythm of heaven, not the anxious pace of your worries. As Jeremiah chapter 33 verse 3 declares, "Call to me and I will answer you and show you great and unsearchable things you do not know." You see, I am not intimidated by your questions. I promise to answer you at the right time and in the perfect way. My child, looking back on your faith journey, you will realize those quiet seasons of doubt were the exact moments that deepened your soul. They forced you to seek me more deeply. They trained your ears to listen closer to my voice. They drew you near to me with a genuine heart. Faith never grows in comfort. It blooms in the broken spaces where you finally confront your true self and my truth. Keep asking, but do it with a heart that seeks, not a soul that has given up hope. Keep searching, but look with a tender heart rather than a bitter one. Keep knocking on that door. My door is never locked to a humble heart. Understand this, my child. I am not just standing at the very end of your path waiting for you to figure everything out. I walk right beside you through every single doubt, question, and tear. I never abandon you in the darkness of uncertainty. Even when you walk through the shadows of doubt, I am right beside you, holding your hand, guiding your steps, and stretching your heart to become wider and deeper. My beloved child, as you travel along this long journey of life, I want to teach you a quiet but powerful lesson. It is the calling to love those who are different from you. The world tries to tell you that different people are threats. To guard against that, you must keep your distance behind boundaries built on fear and judgment. But my child, I did not make this world with a cookie cutter. I designed every single soul uniquely. Just like every single star in the night sky shines with its own unique beauty. When you learn to love others despite their differences, you touch the very center of my heart. After all, I gave you the ability to find beauty in the unfamiliar. As John 13:33 says, "Everyone will know you are my disciples if you love one another." That verse is not just an invitation. It is a promise that love speaks louder of my presence than any sermon ever could. Once you step past the safe walls you built around your life, you will see a world much bigger than you ever dreamed. I do not want your heart locked away by old fears, ancient wounds, or false warnings that made you think strangers were always dangerous. Look at them through my eyes. Eyes that see their stumbles and the silent pain hidden behind their smile. Meet them as whole human beings, as living souls into whom I personally breathed life. Every single one carries a beautiful story and a divine purpose I wrote before they were even born. When you choose to open up, you do not lose a thing. Instead, you grow and your soul stretches to hold so much more. It opens to welcome different people, untold stories, and new depths of joy and sorrow. Through that very process, you will find your own spirit healing, renewing, and transforming in ways you never saw coming. You will meet some people only once. Yet that brief moment will plant a seed of kindness in your soul or allow you to share the light I gave you. There will be people you once dismissed as total strangers, but I will use them to unlock the very answers you seek, a word of encouragement or a doorway you thought was locked forever. A fresh perspective that breaks down the walls of your own mind. Others will mirror parts of your soul you have ignored, your hidden fragility, your lost dreams, and the deep strength waiting to be awakened. My child, differences are not barriers. They are mirrors that show you the beautiful design I have woven into every human soul. Each person is a unique song. When you listen with an open mind, you will hear the sweet harmony between your heart and theirs, a connection brought to life by unconditional love. Never forget that I do not love you for trying to be someone else. I love you simply because you are you, created exactly the way I wanted, and I love every single person in your life in that very same way. When you celebrate their uniqueness, you align with the rhythm of my heart. Do not let fear judge a person before you ever get to know them. Do not let gossip or rumors cloud the truth your own eyes see and your own soul knows to be true. You were not made to live inside a narrow box of quick judgments. I created you to bring warmth to places long frozen by fear and distrust. My child, when you open your mind to those who are different, you also throw open the gates for your own soul to grow. You will find yourself able to feel deeper, understand others more clearly, and love without limits. The tight grip of self-protection and the nagging fears that whisper, "You will get hurt if you let people in," will simply fade. Those defenses will crumble piece by piece as you step closer to your true self, the one designed in my own image. Real love never makes you weak. It makes you patient, kind, and incredibly grounded when you keep your heart open. It does not break easily. Instead, it grows tough like an old tree, weathering fierce storms because its roots run deep and its branches reach wide. Did you know this? Every time you choose love over fear, forgiveness over suspicion, and grace over judgment, you show my fingerprints right in the middle of ordinary life. I want you to be a soft light for others. Not a blinding glare, but a warm glow that helps someone sitting in the dark realize hope is still alive. You do not need to change the entire world. You only need to change how you look at it, and the world around you will start to change in response. My dear child, keep on loving even when that love is not returned right away. Keep your heart open even when others are not ready to meet you with that same openness. Keep planting good seeds even when the harvest is still far off. Love always speaks with its own voice, a quiet, steady whisper that reaches places the mind cannot touch. I will use your love like a gentle breeze blowing across the dry, barren areas of other hearts. I will also use those moments to stretch your capacity, shaping you daily to look more like me. My precious child, I want you to understand one of the deepest secrets of the spiritual life, the mystery of the power in your words. The world tells you words are just fleeting sounds that blow away like the wind. But in my kingdom, words carry the immense power of life and death, of building up or tearing down, of healing or hurting. Your tongue is no ordinary tool. It is a bridge between heaven and earth, connecting what I plant in your heart with what grows in others. Proverbs 18:21 says, "The tongue has the power of life and death." This means every word you speak points either toward life or toward decay. I have given you the freedom to choose. My child, I invite you to live more deeply where your words are not mindless reactions but intentional seeds. Every time you open your mouth, picture yourself planting seeds in a garden. Either a garden of light where hope and faith grow, or a dark garden of shadows where doubt, bitterness, and pain take root. You can't control everything happening around you, but you can always choose what you plant. You cannot change another person's heart in a single moment, but you can plant a good seed inside them that will one day grow into healing. Learn to use your words to bless, because when you bless, you stand with me. The world often uses words to judge, complain, attack, or measure others by fragile standards. But you are called to a different path. The more your heart is tied to mine, the more your words will echo. My voice, gentle yet strong, tender yet encouraging. simple yet carrying the very breath of life that others are aching for. Speak what is good. You never know how a single sentence from your lips might rescue a soul standing on the edge of despair. My child, practice speaking the truth, but always speak it with gentleness. Truth is not a rod to beat others down. It is a lamp that guides them out of the dark. When you speak truth without love, your words cut like a blade, making people shrink back. But when you speak truth with the tenderness of the Holy Spirit, your words become a healing medicine that opens the heart, showing others that you truly care for them. Never forget that even I use a gentle voice when I correct you. I do not use thunder to break you, but soft rain to nourish the soil of your heart. And please, my child, do not keep your love locked silently inside. I want you to speak the words that so many around you ache to hear but never dare to ask for. Tell those you love how much you value them. Remind them that their presence in your life is a precious gift from me. Many have lived so long in the quiet pain of their wounds that they no longer believe they deserve to be loved. A single sentence from you can be the bridge that brings them back to hope. When you say, "I care about you," you are not just speaking your own words. You are echoing my heart for them. My child, use your words to plant hope in barren places where despair has dried up the ground. Sometimes a single sentence is enough to lift someone sitting in shadows that you cannot see. Remember that many wear a smile when standing before others, yet deep inside they are begging for even the tiniest ray of light. When you offer a sincere word of encouragement, you become my hands placing a spark of courage into their soul so they can rise again. The journey of your words does not end with others, it returns to you. When you choose to speak of what is good, you transform more than just the atmosphere around you. They change your own heart. When you choose to see the light in others, you learn to recognize it in yourself. When you speak what is wholesome, your heart grows generous. When you speak encouragement, your mind softens toward grace. Your words do not just build up the lives of others. They shape your inner world. Be careful not to let negative complaining words slip out. They are like thorny seeds. Once planted, they do not just hurt others. They take root in your own soul. This weakens your faith and blinds you to the good things I am doing for you. But when you constantly sow gratitude and blessings and choose trust, your inner garden will bear beautiful fruit, and those who cross your path will find comfort and shade from what you have grown. Remember, my child, your words are a gift I placed in your hands. Use them to bring life wherever you go. Let your voice be like a cool stream, not a fire that burns. Let your words heal the hurts of others instead of making their burdens heavier. Never forget, I hear every word spoken from a loving heart. I record them and I use them to open doors you cannot even see yet. My dear child, I want to share a quiet truth with you that can change everything. Time is not something you need to hoard or guard. It is a gift I gave you so you can live fully, love deeply, find rest, and give generously. Time is a river that never stops flowing. You cannot squeeze it in your fist and say, "This is mine." Water stays clean only when it moves. Your soul stays healthy when you let your time flow in the rhythms I set. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven." This reminds you that even the speed of your life belongs in a sacred pattern. Rest and hard work do not fight each other. They blend like two streams meeting in a vast ocean. My child, you sometimes think you must protect your time by hiding it away like a secret treasure so no one can reach it. But mature love does not hide. It is knowing when to give and when to keep. I do not want you running on empty from giving constantly, but I also do not want you hiding behind a wall of busyness. I want your life to flow like a beautiful hymn where every single note has its place, where quiet moments fuel your work and your work makes rest even sweeter. Carve out peaceful spaces to just sit and breathe. Give your soul the space to hear my voice. Remember, quietness is not a way to escape reality. It is where you come to be put back together, filled up and healed where life has worn you out. In those quiet times, I take your exhaustion and give you new strength. I take your fears and turn them into trust. Silence is not empty space. It is a sacred room inside your heart that I built so we can meet together. But remember, your time belongs to a plan much bigger than you. A river does not flow just to wash the rocks at the bottom. It flows to bring life to dry fields you cannot even see. It is the same when you give your time to listen to someone, to help someone who is struggling, or to perform a small act of love. You let the river inside you bring life to someone who has run completely dry. You might not see the results of your kindness, but I see everything. I notice every little thing you do, every afternoon you spend helping a friend through their pain, every kind word you say even when you are exhausted. Every second you give out of love falls straight into my heart like a beautiful gift. My child, find a healthy pace for your days. A soul without structure will quickly grow anxious and tired. You were not created to live in endless chaos, nor were you meant to hide away from the world in total silence. Your soul needs movement, but it also needs rest. That is why I want your life to flow like a beautiful three-part melody. Morning is for peace, daytime for faithfulness, and evening for gratitude. A peaceful morning lets you start the day without worry, knowing deep down that I am walking right beside you. When you sit quietly, close your eyes, and breathe in my presence, you set the tone for your entire day. Those quiet moments give you the strength to handle whatever comes next. They also help you open your heart to hear my voice in the simplest details, the song of a bird, the morning sun, or the gentle rise and fall of your own breath. That deep peace will stay with you all day long as you guard it like a rare treasure. Living a faithful day is not about proving your worth to others. It is about working alongside me in every small chore. When you do your work with love, even the hidden things nobody else notices, heaven watches. I do not measure your worth by how popular you are, but by how faithful you are. Every single hour of your work and every moment of your focus becomes a quiet prayer rising straight to my throne. You will start to see that this daily faithfulness is how I grow you, making you stronger, more patient, and more loving toward others. An evening spent looking back with gratitude is when you see how my hand has been guiding you through the whole day. You might feel tired or busy, or pulled by all kinds of pressure. But when you pause and find stillness, everything settles back where it belongs. Thankfulness softens your heart, making daily annoyances feel so much lighter. Suddenly, you notice blessings hidden in every single moment. A warm smile, a helping hand, a new opportunity, even a struggle that shaped who you are. When you live with gratitude, your heart opens wider to receive my blessings in the future. My child, I want you to understand something you often forget along this journey. Your physical body is not just some temporary piece of clothing. It is a holy temple I trusted you with so you could live, feel, and walk this earth. Right from your very first breath, I gave you an incredible gift, a physical body that feels, moves, hurts, heals, gets tired, and somehow always rises again. I want you to care for this gift the way a master gardener nurtures a rare flower with real respect, mindfulness, and love. Society might tell you that physical wellness is not important, or that looking after yourself is only for people obsessed with vanity. But to me, your body is the sacred vessel your soul uses to share my love. It is the practical tool your faith uses to touch the world around you. It is where your heart beats, where your lungs breathe, and where your silent prayers rise up to me. That is why you must learn to honor it. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19 reminds you that your body is a temple. This truth is not meant to pressure you or make you feel guilty, but to remind you that your worth goes far deeper than what people see on the surface. My child, feed yourself things that are pure and nourishing. Avoid eating mindlessly. Instead, view every meal as an expression of thankfulness for the physical life being renewed inside you every single day. Choose foods that bring real energy, giving you the strength to finish the work I give you. You do not have to live by society's strict rules or run yourself completely into the ground. Pay attention to your body because it talks to you. If you quiet your mind, you can hear what it needs: water, deep rest, gentleness, or time to heal. When you slow down and answer those cries, you show respect for my gift. But on the other hand, do not spoil yourself so much that you become weak and easily controlled by temporary cravings. Balance is a law I wrote deep inside creation. Everything in the universe moves in harmony. Ocean tides rise and fall. The sun climbs to warm the ground, then sets so the moon can take its place. Even a powerful storm eventually gives way to quiet. If the entire cosmos moves in this perfect balance, then you, my precious creation, are also invited to walk in that very same rhythm. Avoid extreme living. Do not starve your soul with harsh rules, nor ruin yourself with reckless habits. Choose healthy moderation instead, because balance opens the door for real peace to enter. My child, learning how to rest is a beautiful act of trust. So many people think they must work constantly to prove they matter, but I did not design you to live in constant exhaustion. I made you to truly live. Rest is never a sign of laziness. Rest is your heart silently saying, Lord, I trust you to hold everything together. When your head hits the pillow and you let go of your breath, that is when you leave today's heavy burdens in my hands. Give yourself deep sleep and peaceful mornings, and quiet moments just to watch the clouds. In those still spaces, your body heals, your thoughts settle, and your spirit finds new life. But while rest is vital, you also need to move. When you walk, stretch out tired muscles and get your blood flowing, you are whispering to your own body, I value you. Physical movement is more than just exercise. It is how I help you release buried stress, silent anxieties, and heavy burdens that have settled deep down in your bones. Keep your body fluid like moving water. Do not let it stiffen under constant exhaustion or chronic tension. Remember, my beloved child, getting sick is not a sign of weak faith, nor is it some kind of punishment from me. Your body is part of nature, and all things have moments of power and times of weakness, seasons of high energy and days of fatigue. So when illness visits, I want you to face it with gentle patience. Do not view it as a cruel enemy attacking you. Think of it as a signal telling you that you have gone too long without resting, too long without caring for yourself, and too long since you actually listened to your physical needs. Do not panic. Do not be angry. Just be kind to yourself. And nourish and heal your body using the wisdom I give you. If you need sleep, sleep. If you need medication, take it. If you need to adjust your lifestyle, let me direct your path. And never forget, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. You do not have to feel embarrassed about needing backup. I placed you in a family of believers so you would be supported, cared for, and loved when you cannot stand on your own 2 feet. When you allow others to help, that is actually my hand reaching out to embrace you. My precious child, here is a truth I need you to write deep upon your soul. You were not created to walk this path alone. From the very beginning, when I first breathed life into humanity, I declared that isolation is not good. That was not just a message for the ancient past. It is a timeless truth for every generation, including yours. You may be strong and resilient and fully able to push forward on your own, but you were never meant to carry the heavy burdens of life by yourself. Your soul was designed for real connection, to share laughter, tears, stories, and bright hopes with those around you. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 says that 2 are better than 1, for they get a good return on their labor. This is a gentle reminder that real strength is not found in standing alone, but in supporting one another. My child, look for community, like a thirsty traveler looks for water and shade. True fellowship is not a luxury, it is a deep need of your soul. Do not lock away your heart so long that you forget how beautiful it feels when someone speaks your name with love. Do not suffer through dark times alone until you stop believing that my light can reach you through someone else. Find those who see the very best in you, those who will keep you honest, those who remind you of your worth when you forget you were designed by love. In fellowship, you are not just accepted, you are shaped into your truest self. Find friends who can hold you accountable, not to judge or control you, but to steady your steps when you start to wander. A true friend will look you in the eyes and ask, are you really living out the calling God placed inside you? They will not let you surrender to weariness, and they won't let you slide into quiet complacency either. They walk right beside you so you do not lose your divine purpose. And when you stumble, they will never leave your side. They will stand by you and lift you up because they know none of us were made to survive as lonely islands in the vast ocean of life. But just as importantly, you need people who genuinely know how to celebrate your victories. Those who do not get jealous when you succeed, and who do not pull away when heavy blessings flow your way, but celebrate as if they were receiving that grace themselves. Joy has an infectious power, but it only spreads when shared. When you find a family of faith to laugh with, you will realize your joy is no longer fragile or small. It multiplies, turning into a bright light that warms even your most ordinary days. My Child Fellowship is not just a place to speak your mind, it is a sacred space to learn how to listen. When you sit beside someone opening their heart, you are not just hearing words, you are listening to the very echo of humanity. You hear the pain that shook them, the hope that kept them going, and the quiet questions they whispered into the dark, just like you did. When you listen with a completely open heart, you offer them a priceless gift. In a world starved for real presence, listening teaches you deep humility. You learn true empathy, and you learn to love just as I love you. In community, you will also practice patience. You will meet people who think, feel, and react in ways completely different from you. You will be challenged to slow down, not to run when misunderstandings happen, and not to lock your heart shut when you face differences. Patience is not just a polite habit, it is a profound lesson in love. When you choose patience, you reflect the grace I have poured over you for years. And my child, it is through fellowship that you will discover a strength you could never find standing completely alone. Some days you might feel like you are about to collapse, but then a single hand reaches out to help. A kind word or a warm hug from someone who cares can help you stand tall again. Strength does not just come from inside. It flows through the binding of hearts reaching toward what is good. When one friend falls, another lifts them. When one weeps, another tenderly wipes away their tears. When one person prays, that prayer becomes a sanctuary for a weary soul. Yet fellowship is also where you learn to forgive. No community is perfect. No heart goes through this life without wounding another person, whether on purpose or by mistake. Yet these friction points invite you to extend forgiveness, to let go of bitterness, and to choose peace over division. Forgiving others is not merely about protecting them. It is about releasing yourself from a heavy burden you were never meant to carry. Here you will also learn true grace. Grace does not mean pretending someone has no flaws. It is seeing their weaknesses alongside their strengths and choosing to love them anyway. It is remembering that others are growing just like you, Grace means choosing not to hold someone's past against them, just as I have never used your history to condemn you. When you bring grace into your community, you plant seeds of peace and deep healing. My child, help build homes where trust grows through every kind word, every small action, every shared meal, and every prayer. Create spaces where children feel safe, the elderly feel honored, the strong offer support, and the weary find true rest. Build homes where laughter turns into praise and where tears are never seen as weakness, but as the voice of honest hearts. When you find a community like this, your soul will plant deep roots. Your mind won't be easily shaken by storms, and you will walk through life with a calm steadiness born from the love you share with the people I have placed beside you. My child, you were never meant to live on the fringes. You were created to thrive among those who are also seeking my face. My beloved child, I want you to understand a truth that many of my followers have yet to fully grasp. Prayer isn't a tool to change my mind. It is the gentle pathway I use to transform your heart. So often you come to me with a long checklist of hopes listing situations where you want me to step in, doors you want me to open, and circumstances you wish would shift. I don't blame you for this because a child naturally runs to their father when they are in need. But I want to lead you into a deeper, more intimate place of prayer, where your request is no longer to bend the world to your will, but to shape your heart to mine. Indeed, Psalm 37 verse 4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." This reminds you that real transformation happens when your heart yields completely to my will. My child, prayer isn't just about spoken words. It is a sacred conversation where your soul opens up to me without holding back, without defense, and without any filters. You don't need fancy language or perfect phrases for me to listen. I already know every heavy burden you carry, and I long for you to speak with the real, raw language of your heart. When you are totally honest, prayer stops being a cold ritual and becomes a living breath. It's like a child running to their father, needing no fancy words, only his presence. In that quiet space, your heart begins to soften and change, and gradually match the image of perfect love. Prayer isn't limited to just the moments you speak either. It's found in the stillness where you simply let me speak. In a world full of noise, quiet moments have become a rare luxury. Yet it's inside that silence that I reach the deep places words cannot touch. When you sit quietly without searching for the right phrasing, without trying to control your thoughts, without performing, and simply being there, I draw close to you in the deepest way. I don't always come with thunder or blazing fire. I come with gentleness, with warmth, and a peace that slips into your heart in ways you can't explain. In that quiet, I heal the wounds you haven't even named, untangling the knots that have tightened inside your soul when your spirit is ready for joy. Sing, my child, and let your song rise as an offering that touches heaven. It doesn't need to be perfect, nor does it need to follow a set rhythm. What I listen for isn't the strength of your voice, but the raw honesty of your heart. When you sing with gladness, you are doing exactly what you were made to do, honoring me with your delight. Those songs lift your spirit, helping you look at the world through eyes of hope and bright light. But when your heart is heavy and tears swell like a rising tide, don't hold back. Pray in those moments too. Never feel like you have to hide your sadness or anger from me. I don't love you based on how happy or positive you feel. I love you completely, both when you shine brightly and when you are broken. Bring your pain, your disappointment, your anger, and your fear to me. Don't bury these feelings so deeply that they turn into a heavy, crushing weight. When you surrender them to me, I might not take them away instantly, but I will sit with you and stay right beside you, holding your hand in a holy friendship you won't find anywhere else. I don't promise that every hard emotion will vanish in a second, but I promise you'll never have to face them alone. My child, prayer is a beautiful journey of transformation, not a transaction. It isn't a checklist you send to heaven while waiting for an answer, nor is it a way to bend circumstances to your will. Prayer is the process where layers of your fear are gently peeled away, illusions of control are broken, and the high walls you built around your heart finally begin to fall. It's the journey where you slowly begin to see the truth about yourself, uncovering your tender places, your deep weaknesses, and the wounds that need healing. And when you invite me into those spots, real change begins. Bit by bit, you'll realize your prayers have changed, not because I have changed, but because you are made new. Instead of demanding that everything goes your way, you will learn to say, "Lord, teach me to accept what is truly best, even if it is different from my hopes." Instead of begging me to take this trial away, you will say, "Use this to help me grow." Instead of asking me to change the people around you, you will ask me to reshape your own heart so you can love them like I do. That is when you experience the true depth of your faith. My beloved child, never forget this. Every prayer you whisper, whether in quiet murmurs, songs, tears, or total silence, is fully heard by me. No prayer is ignored, not a single tear is forgotten. Even when your circumstances do not seem to change, understand that I am changing you. You are becoming softer, more patient, and more loving. I am shaping you into the very person I envisioned when I created you. Let us talk about a struggle you often face on this journey of spiritual growth. It is about learning to loosen your grip on the plans you hold so tightly. I see every dream you hold dear, every hope you carry for your future, and the sincerity of your heart. I do not ignore these desires. Actually, I cherish them because they show you are living with hope and a desire to grow. But my child, I want you to understand a deep truth. My most beautiful blessings arrive when your hands are open, not clenched. Often you think that holding on to your plans will guarantee they succeed. You are afraid to let go because you fear losing them. You fear change and worry about losing the future you always wanted. But my child, the very things you cling to can turn into chains that hold you back. When your hands are tired from holding on, you have no strength left to receive the new blessings I have for you. If fear closes your heart, you will miss the fresh opportunities I am placing right in front of you. Think of the times I opened a much better path for you. Yet, because you were focused only on the dream, you imagined you did not see that I was guiding you towards something far greater. My child, work hard for what you believe is right. Pour your heart, devotion, and daily faithfulness into everything you do. I love your dedication. My heart rejoices when I see you pouring yourself fully into worthy things. But always keep a quiet, sacred space in your heart where I am allowed to rewrite your story. Do not let stubbornness close your hands. Keep them open, knowing that every perfect blessing in your life ultimately comes from me. Be ready to pivot and step in a new direction if I call you. Remember, I see the path ahead. I know what lies around the corner of your future. Scripture tells us in Proverbs 16:9, we can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. This teaches you that planning is fine, but letting me guide you ensures you never miss the blessings I have prepared. Keep dreaming, planning, and working hard. Just let me write the final chapter. My paths will never lead you to a dead end. My only desire is to see your soul flourish. Holding too tightly to one specific path can blind you to the beautiful opportunities I want to unfold. Think about how many times I've opened a door right before your eyes. Instead, you stood crying at the one that shut, grieving what you thought was essential. You saw that closed door as a loss. But often, it is just my hand protecting you from stepping into a place where you no longer belong. I will never ask you to let go of something without offering you something better. A deeper joy, a healthier connection, a perfect opportunity, or a brand new season flooded with light you never dreamed of. Trust me, my child. When a door shuts, another opens. It is not luck, it is my hand guiding you. Every ending has a purpose. Every shift is my personal invitation. You do not have to figure it all out today. Just trust that I will never leave you halfway through. When the path you wanted closes, ask me, Father, what better thing are you preparing for me? And that single question will open your eyes to the miracles happening beneath the surface of your life. My child, the unexpected twists you never planned for often become the greatest blessings of your life. They might begin as a tiny opportunity, a quick conversation, an unwelcome shift, or even a shattered dream that forces you onto a detour. Yet it is exactly these detours that guide you to the destiny I have prepared. Never look down on taking the long road. Sometimes the direct path is too short to teach your soul what it needs to learn. During those long seasons, I am actively molding you, building your patience, and expanding your vision, softening your heart and preparing you to receive something greater. My child, be gentle with yourself when your plans do not work out as expected. Failure does not mean you are not enough. It is just a reminder that the timing is not right yet, or the path you chose is not the one I planned for you. Give yourself grace to be flexible. Give your heart the freedom to change direction. I never blame you for growing. I only want you to change under my guidance. And remember, you do not have to walk through this fog alone. I walk ahead of you on every journey. I know every door you will face, every dead end you will hit, and every open road I am preparing for you. Just hold my hand. Keep your spirit open and sensitive to the whisper of the Holy Spirit. Do not let fear freeze you. Do not let stubbornness steal the spiritual freedom I want you to enjoy. Listen. Put your trust in me, the one who sees the whole picture when you can only see a tiny piece. My child, learn to walk with open hands. Work hard, but be ready to let go when I call you into something new. Open hands lose nothing. Open hands can receive everything. You will find that what I bring into your life is always better than what you try so hard to keep. Let your life become a beautiful dance of surrender and trust. You will never go where I am not already there. Just dare to step forward. Dare to change direction and trust the path I put before you. And when you look back years from now, you will smile. You will see that closed doors were never the end, but the start of miracles you could not even imagine back then. You will see I was right there in every unexpected turn, in every new dream born from the ashes of the old, and in every beautiful blessing you thought would never find you. Some things in life just cannot be understood through explanations alone. They must be lived, touched, and felt with the heart rather than picked apart by the mind. Raising a child is exactly like that. It is not just passing down rules, but the tender work of planting seeds of kindness, gentleness, and hope into a young and growing soul. Every look we give, every quiet gesture, and every reaction in our ordinary hours becomes a living lesson. Kids remember our actions far longer than our words. They do not just listen to what we say, they watch how we live and face the world. And that is how they learn to become a whole, loving human being. So the greatest gift we can offer a child is not a lecture, but a life shaped by genuine kindness. When we show patience in small ways like letting go gently, speaking softly, or offering pure tenderness, when they make mistakes, we build a foundation of deep safety. Sometimes we think kids only need rules, schedules, and strict guidance. But above all, what they really need is to know that an adult stands beside them, someone calm, loving, and patient enough to let them grow at their own pace. That patience proves to a child that the world is not a cruel place, and that stumbling is okay, to explore, to fall, and to rise again. Children are born with natural curiosity, eager to explore, and excited for every new discovery. When we force them into rigid boxes, we do not just steal their joy of learning, we drain the creative spirit that God placed deep inside their tender souls. Instead, when we give them room to play, to ask questions, and to observe and find their own answers, we let them experience life the way God intended, as a colorful, beautiful adventure of discovery, patient yet full of deep meaning. And when we let go of our need to control everything, we find freedom too. Freedom to walk beside them instead of just managing them. Sure, kids will exhaust us. There will be times when their high-energy stubbornness or mistakes wear our patience thin. Yet in those exact moments, God is teaching us something deep. Loving a child is not about wanting perfection, but embracing every messy step of who they are becoming. When we learn to stay calm when they make little mistakes, we teach them that life is not about being perfect all the time. It is a journey where the greatest skill is learning to stand back up after every fall. And to do that, we must first give them the language of love, a language that needs very few words but speaks loudly through the way we live our daily lives. It shows when we admit our mistakes to them, even as adults. It shows when we ask for forgiveness if we have accidentally hurt their feelings. It shows up when we admit we are still learning and growing. When kids see us practice humility, they learn how to be real. When they watch us fix our mistakes, they realize that failing is never the end of their story. Seeing us work hard and stay committed teaches them responsibility. And when they see us stop to rest, they learn that a life of value is not measured by accomplishments alone, but by peace and balance too. As written in Proverbs 22 verse 6, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old he will not depart from it." This scripture is not about forcing a child into a mold of our own design, but invites us to build a space where they can naturally discover what is good, true, and worthy. Once those truths take root in their hearts, they build an inner strength that handles any storm life throws their way. Surprisingly, this powerful lesson does not come from grand events, but from daily moments. A simple family dinner reading together before bed, a warm hug when they are crying, or a quiet blessing before they sleep, or just being quietly there for them. We often forget that kids perceive the world with a deep sensitivity adults easily miss. They feel the tension in our voices, the rush in our movements, and the impatience in our eyes. But they also feel completely safe when we are gentle, heard when we listen, and loved when we truly understand. They do not need grand gestures, they just need a heart that knows how to love them truly. Treating kids with genuine kindness and respect writes a way of living on their souls that lasts far longer than any lecture ever could. Give your children room to grow without the pressure of forcing them to become someone they are not ready to be yet. Let them run, laugh, explore, and ask endless questions. Let them know they are loved for who they are, not what they achieve because of the beautiful spark God placed in them. Kids do not need a perfect life. They just need a childhood filled with love, gentle guidance, and the safety of being protected. Here is the ultimate truth. Our patience serves as the bridge carrying them into the future, a future where they are confident enough to love and brave enough to face failure, generous enough to forgive, humble enough to admit when they are wrong, and strong enough to face life without fear. These qualities are not built through quick lessons. They form day by day because we show up for them with a steady and faithful heart. Some things in life seem simple, but touch the very core of who we are, and money is one of them. It is a tool we all deal with every single day. Yet its real meaning is not found in numbers or bank accounts. It all comes down to the attitude of your heart. Money itself is not evil. It is putting our heart in the wrong place that brings trouble. That is why God constantly calls us to keep a clean, upright spirit. He wants us to see money as a tool we manage, not a master we serve. Once you understand your true position over material wealth, you will not let it control you or pull you away from the values God wants you to stand on. Truly, money is like the wind when you learn to guide it. It can carry you far, helping you build, protect your household, and support the hurting. But if you let that same wind blow you off course, you will lose control of your own destiny. Sure, money can ease the stress of bills, lift life's daily pressures, and help you build beautiful dreams. But it can also become a hidden chain, when fear of losing it takes over, making you feel like you never have enough, trapped by comparison. So being honest with money is about more than just avoiding lies. It is about guarding your soul so you stay steady against its pull. Remember, money makes a wonderful servant but a terrible master. When used properly, it opens doors to peace. But when you put it on the throne of your heart, it pushes you toward cravings that never satisfy. So keep it where it belongs, as a tool God put in your hands to create blessings, not chains. Use it to shelter your home and bring security to the ones you love, so your children can grow up without fearing lack. Let your finances be a refreshing stream, not a flood that sweeps you into a life you were never meant to live. God watches how you handle money to see the state of your heart. He does not need your wealth, but your resources reveal your deepest motives. Every time you share, you show God that you trust His daily provision. Helping those in need mirrors the compassion He planted deep inside you. Giving without worrying about what you lose unlocks a freedom known only to those who choose a generous life. Sometimes you will find yourself with more than enough. When that happens, remember, this extra blessing is not just for your own comfort, but is a divine opportunity for you to act as the very hands of God. I reach out to the weary, and there will be times when you find yourself in need. Never feel ashamed to ask for help. Accepting help does not lower your worth. Instead, it proves you were never meant to carry all of life's heavy burdens alone. Both the giver and receiver flow in the exact same stream of grace. One sows, another reaps, and in time the roles will circle back. In 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, it says, "Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart, not reluctantly or because you feel forced, because God loves a cheerful giver." And this truth is not just about church offerings, it is a whole way of living your life. When you give out of joy without pressure or comparison, your gift blesses your own soul before it ever even reaches someone else. The joy inside a truly generous heart always opens up a much wider door for God to pour out His blessings. Money has a way of revealing the truth. It shows exactly who or what you are really putting your trust in. Some feel secure only when their bank accounts are full. Others think happiness means having more possessions than everyone around them. But God's children know that real security does not come from a balance sheet or numbers, but from the Creator who holds everything. Bank accounts may go up and down, but God's goodness never changes. Once you anchor yourself in that solid ground, you will stop fearing the hard days of financial lack, nor will you get proud when things are overflowing. Learn to live with a heart that truly knows contentment. Being content does not mean giving up on your goals or dreams. It just means you stop letting endless desires control your heart. Once you learn to love what you already have, you will see that real wealth has little to do with possessions, but is found in quiet peace, health, family unity, and the sheer joy of walking in the divine purpose God has for you. Teach your kids to look at money through the eyes of faith. Let them see that you are not controlled by wealth, but that you manage your money with wisdom and respect for God. Let them catch you helping a neighbor in a tough spot. Let them watch you show respect to hardworking people. Let them see you thank the people who serve you, even for the smallest things. Those moments teach more than any lecture ever could. When they see you live out real generosity, they learn that money only has true value when you use it to bless the people around you. And while you teach them how to give, make sure you also teach them how to receive. So many grow up thinking only weak people need help, or that asking for a hand is a failure. But here is the truth. We were created to live in community, to carry each other's burdens, and share the heavy loads of life. When you accept help during a hard season, you let love keep flowing. Receiving with a grateful heart is just as holy as giving. Live in total freedom when it comes to finances. Do not let money define you, and do not let it become your burden. Treat it as a tool. Use it with wisdom, discipline, and deep compassion. When you handle your money with honesty, you will find a peace that greed can never buy. When you put doing good above getting rich, you will see heaven open up blessings in ways you never expected. And when your heart knows how to both give and receive, you will step into a deep satisfaction that does not come from wealth, but from the Creator of your soul. When a heavy silence suddenly takes over your life. When your heart feels heavy and nobody seems to notice. When you wake up in the dead of night and the quiet room feels vast and empty around you. I need you to know that you are not in that darkness alone. This loneliness is not a final sentence on your life. And it does not mean I have left you. Honestly, it is usually in those quiet hours when you feel unheard that I am closest to you. So close that all you have to do is whisper my name, whether with words or a soft breath, even when you are too weak to speak. When you call on me, you will feel something shift inside you. It is not a loud, overwhelming storm, but a gentle warmth, like a comforting hand resting on your shoulder, calming your anxious soul and guiding your heart back to a quiet rhythm of peace. Sometimes I come to you in absolute silence, bringing a calm so deep it steadies your shaking world. In my presence, your loneliness loses its sting. It softens, fades away, and melts like morning fog under the rising sun. You used to think being alone was a weakness, but I tell you, it is in those quiet, lonely spaces that your true strength is built. Only when the noise of the world goes quiet can you hear my voice clearly. Only when the busy world fades back can you recognize a love that never runs dry. I am right here with you, always close even before you know it. Micah chapter 7 verse 8 says, "Though I fall, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." Do you see, my child? Even in the deepest dark, my light still finds its way into your heart's quietest corners. No shadow can hide me from you, and no amount of loneliness is strong enough to keep me from drawing near. But my beloved child, you must understand this too. You were never meant to live completely cut off from everyone else. I put inside you a deep need to connect, to be seen, heard, and valued. I am here to fill the empty spaces in your soul, but I also place people around you who can bring warmth and comfort to your daily life. Sometimes I use a simple smile, a warm hello, or a kind question from a stranger to pull you back from the edge of feeling completely alone. So when sadness quietly rolls in like a tide, do not lock your heart away. Do not let fear or insecurity build invisible walls that keep you trapped inside your own small world. Open the door of your heart just a crack. Reach out to an old friend for coffee. Pick up your phone and call someone you can really trust. Walk next door and check on a neighbor. These tiny, simple steps hold much more power than you could ever imagine. Sometimes a 5-minute talk can break a cycle of loneliness that has dragged on for months. You do not need flawless connections. Healing usually begins in the most ordinary moments. A friendly nod from someone walking past, a warm hello from a person you barely know, a short laugh shared in a quiet room. I can use plain everyday things to bring about deep change inside you. I show up not just in massive miracles, but in tiny acts of kindness you might easily overlook. Sometimes a single thin thread of connection is all it takes to rescue your heart from isolation. Remember, I have given you a beautiful gift called community. You were never meant to walk this long path all by yourself. Loneliness will visit, but it cannot move in. It is only a temporary guest to help you search your soul. It is not the companion I designed for your life. I have surrounded you with people whose true purpose in your life you cannot yet see. Some will show up to give you strength. Others will share seasons of joy. A few might only stay for a little while, but their presence will be exactly what you need to make it through a hard crossroad. And there will be moments when I use you to comfort someone else in their loneliness. When you reach out, send a text, or just listen to their story, you become my hands and feet. Through you, I will touch their hurting heart in beautiful ways. When you lift others, your own soul is lifted too. My child, please do not fear those moments of emptiness. They will not crush you. Instead, they soften your heart so you can see that I am your ultimate, unshakable shelter. But once you find me in that quiet place, I want you to step out of your corner and speak. Go look for those deep connections that bring real joy to your life and to the lives of others. The love I poured into you was never meant to be bottled up. It was always meant to flow outward. When loneliness feels like it is closing in, remember, it is not a life sentence. It is just a nudge to return to my peace and an invitation to connect with those I have placed in your life. And when you do, when you return to me and open up to others, your life will no longer feel dry and empty. You will realize you are seen, heard, and never truly alone. Loneliness loses its grip because it cannot survive when love is flowing from both directions at the same time, from me and from the people around you. So my child, when loneliness knocks, do not panic. Do not try to bury it in endless work or distractions that only numb your heart. Use that exact moment to draw closer to me and rest in the deep peace I give you. Step outward gently, bravely, and honestly. To build a connection, start with the absolute simplest things. A hello, a quick question, a cup of coffee, or a simple text message. These tiny steps can break the heavy cycle of feeling isolated. They can bring light back to the quiet corners of your soul. Then you will see that life is much bigger than your current sorrow. I am walking with you, never abandoned, never truly alone, but filled with fresh hope. Some days it feels like the entire world has shrunk down into one long heavy sigh. When every effort feels useless and everything you do is overshadowed by a quiet fear of not being enough. In those moments, despair will whisper lies that nothing you do matters, that life is a loop of failure and you are just a speck in a vast sea of people. But my child, hear the truth that darkness tries to hide. The smallest things you do actually carry more power than you could ever imagine. A tiny seed planted in good soil eventually grows into a tree that offers shade. Just one tiny spark is enough to drive out the dark from a room. And a simple act of kindness, no matter how small, can completely transform someone's life in ways you might never fully see. Remember when you spoke a gentle word to a stranger, never realizing those few kind words stopped them from making a devastating mistake? Or when you shared a simple meal from the heart, totally unaware that your generosity helped a broken soul find their worth again? The little things you think are ordinary often become turning points, giving a discouraged heart the hope they need to carry on. It doesn't take spectacular miracles or flashy wonders to change the world. What I use most are the quiet, unseen acts you do every day. Moments unnoticed by the world, yet forever recorded in heaven. My child, live with the knowledge that every drop of kindness you share ripples far beyond what you can see, because that is the absolute truth. When you choose to love through hard times, that love does more than comfort someone, it moves my own heart. Every compassionate act proves that darkness will never win. This world isn't changed by grand speeches, but by everyday people quietly living out the grace and mercy I placed inside them. I take the smallest offerings and build great things from them, because love is strongest when it flows through humility. Sometimes you look around and only see a world overflowing with bad news, suffering, and chaos. You feel way too small to make a difference, too weak to change anything. But my child, the Gospel of Matthew 13 tells us the kingdom of heaven is like a tiny mustard seed, the smallest of all seeds. But when planted, it grows into a massive tree where birds find shelter. I put that story in scripture to remind you that every great thing starts out small. Never believe your kindness is insignificant. In my eyes, it is a mustard seed destined to become a tree of life for many. I want you to picture this. Every time you speak a kind word, a gentle ripple spreads across the waters of someone's life. Every time you smile at someone in pain, a warm breeze gently brushes their soul. When you choose forgiveness over revenge, you break a link in the chain of bitterness. When you patiently listen, you lay the foundation for a deep healing they don't even recognize yet. Don't you see you are impacting this world far more than you realize? Even when you feel so overwhelmed that discouragement pins you to the ground, you still hold the power to do something that makes heaven smile. Despair tells you to quit, but I say even the smallest step matters. Despair points to emptiness, but I open your eyes to the quiet beauty of things that seem completely invisible. My child, never let discouragement dictate how you live. You weren't created to surrender to the darkness. You were born to shine. Even if your light feels tiny, that small flame is enough to warm a freezing heart. There are people you will cross paths with only once, yet they carry your warm smile with them for years. There are people you help just once when they are down, yet that single moment proves to them that goodness still exists. There are children who hear just one encouraging word from you, and that simple phrase becomes the reason they dare to dream and live fully. You don't know all the ways I use you, and maybe you never will. But I know, I see you, I remember. So when you feel like nothing you do matters, remember that real purpose isn't found in greatness, it is found in love. Purpose is not found in recognition, but in faithfulness. It is not found in applause, but in quiet compassion. This world is built by everyday people quietly choosing to do good, and you are one of them, a vital part of the great work I am doing on the earth. When hopelessness whispers that your life doesn't matter, don't listen to those lies. Look at your hands. They are small, yet they have lifted others up, shared your blessings, and wiped away tears. Look at your feet. They have walked where your presence was needed. Look at your words. They have sparked hope in hearts that were once closed. I have used you so many times, and I will keep using you as long as you don't give up. Live every day knowing that each kind deed reshapes the world, because it does. Live as though every hug, every thoughtful question, and every quiet act of mercy helps heal wounds that no news channel will ever mention. You can't control the headlines, but you can always control how you love. You cannot change the whole world overnight, but you can change someone's entire world in one single moment. Sometimes you think you can only draw close to me when your life is completely in order, when you are peaceful enough, good enough, or holy enough to deserve my presence. But my beloved child, I want you to know a truth that will lift a heavy weight from your heart once you understand it. I do not step into your life as a guest waiting for an invitation. I am already there, as the one who owns the house, as the foundation beneath it, as the roof covering it, and the very breath keeping you alive from moment to moment. I do not need you to clean up your soul before I come, because I was already there long before you even realized you had a soul that needed care. My presence does not depend on order or chaos. I come to walk with you through both the bright spaces and the hidden corners you hesitate to face. Whether your heart burns with joy or aches with unspoken burdens, I am there, unchanging, unafraid, and unwavering. There are days when you feel like a messy room cluttered with scattered things, tangled thoughts, mixed emotions, and old memories blending with new fears. You hesitate to invite me in because you think I only live where things are perfect. But you are mistaken, my child. I do not come because of order. I come because of pure love. I do not knock because everything is bright. I am here because you need a safe place to rest. I have never been a guest waiting on your doorstep for you to clean up the mess inside. I am the home you have been searching for. The place where you do not need to shine or pretend to be strong or act like you have it all together. You only need to step inside, breathe out, and know that I am already there. And so, my beloved, I want you to learn to return to me not through complex rituals but through gentle steps woven into your ordinary daily life. You do not need to climb spiritual mountains to meet me. Sometimes all you need is to pause and feel the ground beneath your feet. Simply paying attention to the breath moving in and out of your body helps you sense what I am whispering to you. Do you not know that every beat of your heart is the rhythm of the life I placed inside you? Every ray of warm sunlight is my embrace holding you in the most natural way. Every chair that holds you is a quiet reminder that I support you whether you are weary or at peace. I use simple physical things to show you that I never leave. In those moments when your soul feels chaotic, all you need to do is place your hand over your chest, feel its pulse, and realize that I am still there, steady and unmoved. The warmth on your skin, the rustling leaves outside, and the trembling breath you release when emotion rises. These are all my signature on the moments of your life. My presence is never limited to the grand things you pray for. It also fills the tiny, easily overlooked details. And through these small things, a door opens for you to return to me. Because when you slow down and become aware, your soul returns to its truest state, connecting with the one who made you. In Psalm 139 verse 7, King David cried out, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence?" His question was not a lament, but a breathless recognition of truth. There is nowhere you can go where I am not already. There is no place within your heart untouched by my hand. Even in the deepest chambers where you store old wounds, I am there, patient, gentle, and never condemning, waiting for you to invite me into the work of healing. Sometimes you think that to find me, you must chase powerful emotions or extraordinary revelations. But my child, I want you to practice finding me in the most ordinary things. Learn to recognize my footsteps in moments too small for others to ever notice. When you feel the weight of your body resting on your chair, it is more than gravity. It is my steady support beneath you. When light touches your skin, it is not just the sun. It is my reminder that I am shining life upon you. When you sit in silence and hear your own breath, you hear a sacred gift I placed in you the very first day you came into the world. So pause, place your hand over your chest, close your eyes, quietly name the things you feel. The ground, the air, the sunlight, the weight of your body, the beat of your heart, the breath inside you. You are not just naming parts of the physical world, you are naming me. For I am present in all life and every tiny movement within you. And in this very act of paying attention, you discover the path straight back to me. A path you once believed required long, difficult journeys, but has actually been near you all along, my beloved child. There is something I want you to understand with absolute clarity. My presence is not confined to your prayers or quiet hours of reflection. I am not found only in the hymns echoing through a church or in the tears that fall when you lay bare your soul. I am present in the quiet daily choices that you make. Those small decisions that go unnoticed by the world yet reveal your true character and reflect my own heart within you. Each time you choose the right path over the easy road, putting love above yourself and reaching out to the forgotten, you are not just doing a good deed. You are touching my very heart. Whenever you choose kindness, even when it costs you personally, there might be no applause or anyone watching, but I see you. I feel every single sacrifice you make, and I am much closer than you think. Kindness is how my spirit speaks. When it is hard to love but you still try, that is when you will feel my presence closest to you. A gentle warmth will rise deep inside you, like a soft ray of light melting away all your hidden pain. That warmth is my whisper. You are on the right path. And when you choose honesty, even when easy shortcuts tempt you, you are experiencing a small part of my divine nature. Integrity is like the breath of heaven. Every time you choose truth and purity, you draw nearer to me. I do not expect perfection, but I love a heart that reaches for light even when darkness calls. Every time you do what is right in secret, heaven itself shines a little bit brighter. Light does not need an audience to shine, just a loyal heart. Sometimes you might think your tiny steps to help someone lonely do not matter at all. But to me, my child, that tiny step is a massive leap most people are too afraid to take. When you step close to the abandoned, when you listen to broken hearts and walk toward those others, avoid, you are bringing my love directly to them. For I dwell with the forgotten. When you go to them, you enter the exact place where my spirit is most alive. A warm touch, a kind word, or just a look of pure empathy can build a bridge over someone's deepest despair. You might never truly see the power of the mercy you share, but I see them, my child. Your daily actions are not as small as you think. They are the map that shows this world what real love looks like. You do not need to preach a sermon. The way you live is the most powerful message. When people watch how you act, especially toward those who are hard to love, how you live behind closed doors, they see my heart in you. You might be the only Bible some people ever read to learn about my love. Never downplay your daily choices. They show the world who I really am. I want you to understand this too. Keep choosing what is good over and over, not to prove how righteous you are, but because every good decision softens your heart, making it deeper and more open to my spirit. Kindness acts like a muscle that grows stronger with use. Integrity needs daily care. Showing mercy is an art you practice daily, stroke by stroke. No one grows to be like me overnight. It is a lifelong process where every tiny decision acts as a chisel shaping your eternal soul. Remember the words of Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright guides them. Your choices today form the compass for your tomorrow. The more you consistently choose what is right, the clearer your path becomes as you walk. By choosing goodness, you learn to recognize my voice, especially when you choose love instead of fear. You will mirror my nature naturally, not because you are straining, but because my spirit is growing fruit inside you. Some days you will grow tired of doing the right thing, seeing absolutely no reward for your faithfulness. You might feel tempted to just quit because others do not appreciate the effort you pour out. But my dear child, do not let their coldness dim the light inside you. You were not made to live for human applause. You were created to show who I am. And I remember every seed of goodness you plant in quiet silence. Not a single sacrifice is wasted. None of your hard work fades into nothing. Every good choice shapes your soul, turning you into a beautiful vessel for my work. Just picture this. Every act of kindness is like my own heartbeat pulsing through your life. Every moment you stand firm in honesty becomes a gentle melody that calms this chaotic world. Every mercy you show cuts through the cold fog of this world like a bright beam of light. And when these moments combine, you become a beautiful living song of heaven here on earth. So my child, keep choosing goodness. Choose it over and over, no matter what it costs, how long the reward takes, or how lonely you feel. You are never alone. I walk with you in every tiny choice. I lay my hand on your shoulder whenever you face a hard decision. My heart fills with joy when you choose light over darkness. I strengthen your soul every time you choose to love, even while carrying your own painful wounds. My precious child, there is a deep truth I want you to write upon your heart. The hope you have searched for along life's crowded roads has actually been living inside you this whole time. This world shifts constantly, bright today, dark tomorrow, gentle now, then suddenly harsh. But the spiritual light I planted inside you never fades. It might get hidden sometimes. You might forget it, but it never truly leaves. Your entire life journey through heavy storms or bright sunshine is simply about remembering that holy spark once again, the light that carries my signature, the sacred breath I exhaled into you at the very start of your life. Imagine this light as a small, gentle lamp placed right in your hands. It isn't a roaring wildfire meant to overwhelm or show off. It is a quiet glow, just enough to guide you and keep you warm, and enough to remind you where you truly belong. But just like any lamp, you must tend to it. If you let pride settle like dust, its wick will clog. If you let the oil run dry because you are distracted by trivial things, the inner flame will grow weak. Neglect it for too long and the light fades until you feel completely lost in the dark. So my child, I want you to care for this flame with the same love a shepherd shows his flock or a mother gives her newborn baby. Keep your heart clear through true humility. Humility keeps you grounded, remembering this light is a divine gift, not something you created. Let daily prayer and devotion be the oil that feeds this flame. You do not need grand rituals. Just offer the simple moments in honest prayer or a quiet space to reflect. A quiet decision to do the right thing when absolutely nobody is watching. Every act of love you share becomes fuel for your lamp. And as that inner light grows stronger, it starts to shine even brighter. It won't just guide your steps, it will warm weary souls who cross your path tired and burdened. You don't need fancy words to offer encouragement. Sometimes just being there with a gentle, sincere heart is all it takes for others to feel my light in you. A warm smile, a comforting touch, or simply asking how they are. These small acts become bright rays of hope breaking through their deepest darkness. In that very moment, the light shining inside you becomes a gift to the world. It is not loud or flashy, but incredibly powerful in its stillness. My child, please be patient. Your inner spirit grows slowly and quietly like a young tree. Some days you will feel absolutely radiant, filled with deep faith and overflowing with hope. But other days that light might feel incredibly small, like a flickering ember gasping in the wind. Do not lose heart. A tiny flame cannot be easily put out when I am the one guarding it. You cannot expect your heart to burn at full strength every single day. Your soul has its own natural rhythm. days of great power and days of deep rest. But rest assured, my light never leaves you. Whether you feel it or not, trust this spiritual journey. Trust that every high and low, every joy and heartache prepares the soil for your roots to grow deeper. Trust that emotional healing rarely happens overnight. It arrives gently like the morning dawn dissolving the night. Trust that wisdom unfolds slowly over seasons and choices, bringing you closer to me with every single step you take. Remember what Jesus said in Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is within you. This doesn't just point to some distant heavenly place, but to a sacred reality living inside every single believer. It means the validation, success, and love you seek from the world is already waiting inside your heart. I have built a quiet kingdom inside your soul, a sacred space where you can breathe and grow. Once you realize this, you will stop chasing external validation. You will look inward and find me there patiently waiting for you, my beloved child. Plant your seeds and water the soil. But do not keep digging them up every day just to see if they are growing. You can't physically see how deep those roots are stretching down into the earth. You cannot watch each tiny cell within that seed quietly breaking through its hard outer shell to create new life. In the exact same way, you cannot see the incredible work I am doing in your life with human eyes alone. But rest assured, the spiritual seeds I plant never die. They only need time, and time is a faithful companion on this sacred journey we share. Time is never your enemy, nor does it hold you back. It is simply the tool I use to bring everything to completion. I am never in a rush, but I am never late either. I move at the perfect pace for your unique soul. As you take these quiet daily steps, the light in you expands in ways you cannot see right now. Then one day you will look back in amazement and ask, why am I so strong now? Why is my heart so full of peace? Why can I now love the very things that once terrified me? In that moment, you will realize this is not from one sudden breakthrough, but the steady buildup of many tiny choices and quiet acts of kindness. Mornings when you chose to keep going, and nights when you gently kept your inner faith burning by putting your trust in me. My child, let my light inside you be your guide. Stop looking for direction in the noisy world, because that chaos will only blur your path. Come back to the quiet place inside where I keep that light burning like a sacred fire. Feed it with kindness, keep it safe with a humble heart, and let it warm others through your compassion. Then you are truly walking in the destiny I designed for you. Now pray these words to me. When my soul retreats into quiet places that no one else can reach, let me feel you right beside me. Show me that even when the room is completely silent, your presence is closer to me than my very breath. Help me call out to you not just with hollow words, but with the deepest cry of my heart. And if loneliness starts to overwhelm me, give me the courage to reach out to those you have placed in my life. To ask a friend out for coffee, to send a thoughtful text, or to simply open up my heart to someone else. Oh Lord, let your presence break down every wall of isolation I build and remind me that I never walk alone. Lord of hope, when despair whispers that nothing I do matters, keep my heart from believing that lie. Open my eyes to recognize how the smallest act of grace can ripple out and change another person's day. When I am exhausted and losing heart, remind me that you love to change the world through humble people, through quiet things. Give me eyes that look past my own pain so I can see how my life still blesses others in silence. And give me the courage to keep sowing seeds of love even when I cannot see any harvest yet, because you are the God who turns small acts into great miracles. Lord of light, when doing the right thing costs me, stand by me. When being kind leaves me vulnerable or misunderstood, let me feel your gentle hand urging me forward. When I choose honesty over temptation, let me experience the sweet peace that only comes from heaven. And when I draw close to the lonely, the ones who feel forgotten by everyone else, let me know that I am standing right where your presence shines brightest. O Lord, let my daily choices become a map that displays your love to this world. Lord, remind me that the light I look for on the outside was already placed inside me from the very start. Help me protect that light just like someone tending to a flickering lamp, cleansing the dust of pride, pouring in the oil of daily prayer, and guarding it with a humble spirit. Let this light shine bright enough to lead me back to you, and warm enough to comfort everyone I meet. And when that flame grows dim on weary days, breathe new life into it, so I do not fall into despair. I place my entire life into your hands. Father, please teach me how to be patient with myself. When growth feels agonizingly slow and the seeds I planted have not yet broken through the dirt, remind me that real life takes time. Give me the faith to believe that nothing you do in my life is ever wasted, even when I cannot see any progress yet. Help me stop pulling up the roots every day just to see if they grew. Let me focus on sowing, watering, and trusting that you are working deep in the dark soil. Oh Lord, help me see that this very journey is the miracle itself. Lord, expand my heart to find you in the most ordinary moments, the simple rhythm of my breathing, the solid ground under my feet, the warm sunlight touching my face, and even the support of the chair beneath me as I rest. Teach me to recognize your hand in every quiet beat of life. As I notice these tiny details, open my eyes to show me that I have been standing in your presence all along. O Lord, teach me to slow down, so that even in the chaotic demands of the day, I can still find the quiet road that leads me back to you, guide of my path. I know you are never rushed and never late. Help me walk with you step by step with total trust. When the road gets too tiring, shield me. And when I get lost in my own anxious thoughts, be my guide. And whenever I doubt my purpose, let me see the spark you placed in me before the world began. Oh Lord, remind me every single day that I never walk alone, because you are the God who goes before me, behind me, and right beside me. Lord, heal my deepest hurts, not by wiping them away, but by making me stronger through them. When painful memories rise like a cold wind, let your light protect my heart. When I feel too weak to handle my pain, remind me that the strength I need comes from you, not my own struggles. Restore me step by step, layer by layer. Help me realize that your peace is gentle yet deeper than anything I have ever chased. Lord, keep my heart tender even when pain surrounds me. Never hard, never closed, and always choosing goodness. Whenever I get tired of loving, let your endless grace pour like fresh water into the dry spaces of my soul. When kindness is misunderstood, help me still do what is right. Turn my heart into an instrument to share the light, grace, and mercy you have poured into me. Lord, I hand over my future to you, every single step, season, and door. Help me trust that time is on my side because you are the one ruling it. When I get impatient for results, remind me that what you are building inside me matters more than any worldly success. When I worry about what has not yet happened, remind me that you are already there in my tomorrow. Help me keep walking forward with your peace, filled with inner light, trusting that you make all things beautiful in your perfect timing. Dear Father, in this quiet moment, I come to you with a humble, trusting heart. I lift up everyone I love. My family, my close friends, and those who have crossed my path and touched my soul. The ones I cannot see every single day, yet always carry in my thoughts. Lord, touch their lives and cover them with the glorious protection of heaven. Watch over them when I cannot be there. Shield them from every hidden danger. Drive back the darkness lurking around them and silence the temptations that might cause them to stumble. Lord, place a circle of your holy light around my family so that every step they take is kept safe by your goodness. Guide them on every path they travel. When they face tough choices, let them hear the quiet whisper of the Holy Spirit leading them toward the truth. When they feel confused at life's crossroads, help them see your signs like a bright guiding star. When they are tired, be their strength. When they are grieving, be their comfort. When they are lost, be the compass that leads them home. Lord, I surrender the heart of every person I love into your hands. Heal what is broken, mend the distance between us, and touch those secret places only you can see. Let your love wash over my home, not like a brief rain, but like a deep river, clearing out bitterness and restoring peace. Give them a peace that goes beyond all human understanding, a calm that comes only from your presence. Give them real joy that circumstances cannot shake. Give them wisdom to know your path, which doors to open and which ones to walk away from. I pray this in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a powerful, growing community of faith.